Good morning and welcome to another episode. Today we meet up with a very special friend of ESGI, Deedee Wills. Deedee is the luminary behind Mrs. Wills Kindergarten. Let's say hi to Deedee. Deedee, thanks for joining us.
Hey, welcome, Deedee. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. How are you?
Great. Well, that's the first question I have for you. How are you doing personally under these circumstances?
Well, I am probably like a lot of people eating my feelings. And so I'm expecting the COVID-15 to actually happen. Like every day there's just a little bit more of me to love. But, other than that, we're healthy. We're doing well. So thanks for asking. How about you?
Good. Same thing, adjusting here. I don't have the full musical setup like you, where I'm going to be doing a lot of singing and cutting new albums, but I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you, what advice you might have for teachers? A lot of people are in a situation where the students may not be coming back this year. They're still trying to do some learning from home. Advice that you might have?
I hear every day from teachers the pressure they're feeling because they're feeling like they can't teach everything they need to teach in the amount of time that they're given. And the reality is that we can't. We are given a full day's worth of curriculum, and we're trying to put it into a Zoom meeting that might be 45 minutes to an hour of quality time. Could be maybe an hour and a half, depending on how you structure it, what grade level you are. But there's no way that you can get everything in exactly the same when we're talking about younger students. The experience isn't going to be the same. So give yourself some grace and realize that all over the world, students are in the same spot, teachers are in the same spot, everybody's experiencing the same thing, and we're going to be okay.
Great advice. I want to ask you specifically about reading. I know you do webinars, and your guided reading webinar with ESGI is one of our top classic sellers. So Woo! You're right up there with Lady Gaga and One World and all that. So very impressive. But specifically in reading, what can teachers do in this kind of a remote situation?
They can do a few things. One, they can do a read aloud with their students. So they can record themselves ahead of time, or they can do a reading lesson with students on a live Zoom. So that's one option. Another option is there are some platforms out there that allow you to send leveled text home. And certainly anything that anybody's ever bought from me, you can send those things home as well. So you can send home those leveled texts, and you can do, set up to do some leveled reading groups if that's something that you have the time to do, and the students have the mental bandwidth to do. It just depends on kind of what you have available. You may record yourself giving some instruction to parents on how they can support their child at home. I think mostly we want to keep students involved with books, whether it's listening to books or reading books. And again, we're going to all get back together. It's going to be okay. We'll pick up right where we left off.
Great. And what about parents? Some parents now find themselves in the role almost of a teacher with their young students at home. What would you say to parents?
I think that, as a parent myself, I know what it's like to teach your child. I know that, when the perfect son was of the age of where I was capable of teaching him something, he got to a point in high school, I'm like, okay, you're on your own, dude. But when he was at an age, it is harder to teach your own child because they sometimes don't always want to listen to you. So I think that, again, give yourself some grace. I think parents, I would imagine many parents are going through a lot of different types of emotions, right? They're trying to keep their child healthy and happy. They might have some financial things going on. If they're in the healthcare profession, they're probably working too many hours. If they're not working at all, that comes with a new set of stress. And so I think the most important thing that they can do is to continue to be the parent first, and the teacher, reach out to the teacher if you need support on how to teach a certain subject. But again, realize in the scope of our lives, right, as human beings, 3 months of learning is not going to be a make it or break it moment, right? And so we have a lot of opportunities to spend some time with our children. Let's make that quality time. It doesn't have to be drill sergeant time, right? So and not that anybody intends to be that way, but I think parents are like, I don't want them to get behind. And again, everybody's going through the same thing right now. So create those memories, instill some love of learning, and make sure it's in moderation, right?
Great. Finally, a question, outside of stalking you, how will people find you and find some of your resources?
I have a blog, mrswillskindergarten.com. It's probably the best way to find me. And from there, you'll find my other social media channels and that sort of thing.
Well, thanks again, Deedee, for joining us. And you can find Deedee's assessments in ESGI, and if you use Deedee's code, you'll get a special discount. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you soon.